down to the into. Iwanakan should be thrown out as well. My computer's not
He's
ready.
still around, by the
Dragon's
way.
hit the game. He's still here. He's got 4 Marines. And there's another one pulled in, and it's going to get Europe as well. Instantly shot down. That Aria not doing a huge amount there, but it's going to be obliterated in the process. And
Looks like the Ravens trying to Hunter-Seeker actually pointed out the point defense drones. Battle cruisers throwing down the amount of cannons, but here come the Vipers.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello from the MLG studios here in New York City, and welcome back to Heart of the Swarm exhibitions, where Monday through Friday, every single day at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have something going on related to Heart of the Swarm. My name's axeltoss. I am joined by AxeLab, and today we got some free-for-all action. Yesterday we had Arcade Spotlight, which was a lot of fun. Monday we had King of the Hill. Tomorrow we're going to have a show match between Polt and Damaga, and Friday we're going to have some more King of the Hill.
Indeed, sir. King of the Hill is really fun because you see people pick maps, they pick all the cool strategies they use to counter each other. You know, Cats with his 4-hatch build, White Raw with his fast Oracle techniques. There's a lot of cool stuff in Heart of the Swarm. Really fun to watch. Wednesday, though, is like all that combined into one game.
Yeah.
You got free-for-all. So you got the one guy Massive Raven, seeing how well Ravens are late game. You got Shu, goes like pure Tempest every single game. Sasquatch pulls a 6-pull, all in a single
and ruins
map.
everything. No, but that's actually a really interesting point, because, like, sure, in standard Heart of the Swarm games, we're able to see the development of the early and mid game, but we don't necessarily get to see the late game a whole lot. And the thing with free-for-all is, we actually get to see a lot of late game type mechanics involved, as far as, alright, how good are Tempest versus a big siege line? How good are Thors versus a bunch of Void Rays?
How good are Tempest versus Blink Stalkers?
Exactly. Like, we didn't necessarily get to experience that, and we found that, hey, Stalkers are actually pretty darn good against Tempest. So lots of awesome stuff happening every single day here. At the MLG studios. Again, Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern is the live stuff. But other than the live stuff, we have VODs going up every day. Pretty much as soon as the stream goes down, the VODs go up on our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/officialmlgsc2. So if you miss anything, I'll be honest, a little bit earlier today, like an hour ago, 30 minutes ago, I was watching VODs from yesterday because I just played so well, I just wanted to watch it again.
It's a good reason. Watch yourself in the last dodgeball match, right?
Yeah.
Dodgeball, the last clutch throw. Actually, it was our teammate who got it, but you weakened him a little bit. Yeah, no, there's some great content out there, and we're gonna try to do a little more work on getting like highlight clips and short clips of cool moments out on that YouTube channel for you guys. So if you just want to see like highlights, you know, there's a top 5, top 10 section. Try to
Or
get
if you want to see AxeLab draw certain things. Let's start the game.
Let's not talk about that.
All right, so we got a free-for-all going on. A lot of awesome players. What do you think of that list I got there?
That's a very impressive list. I mean, Damaga is probably the name that sticks out the most. Actually, let's just show load screen so everyone can see this list. 6 Spartan is TT1. Very strong in the beta. I mean, Ghost, who you guys know. Droot Todd, Galan Sasquatch. A lot of great players from Europe and from America here. It should be a great match.
Adam Young, by the way, is Poke Bunny.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and introduce these players.
But his name's not Adam.
He told me he was Poke Bunny.
He is young.
He could have been
lying.
lying.
He is young.
He could have been lying. This is funny. I love reading their comments. Because let's just go look at their vision really quick of one of them. Yeah, that happened. Nobody knows. You got a scout. Of course, this is the same free-for-all map we've been using. With the gold, there's gold in the middle here, I promise. But we want to emphasize scouting here in the MLG free-for-all, and we're going to see how much these players freak out. So let's introduce them. The top right, we got TT1. Always a strong presence in the King of the Hills. Very good Heart of the Swarm player. In the middle right, wait, any pulls going down? Okay, no pulls. Middle right, we have Gosu User. Made his debut in the King of the Hills on Monday, where he eventually lost to Crank, who currently has like an 8-game winning streak or something crazy like that. Bottom right, we have Glon. I think he's currently at the Clarity House in New York.
Glon is not playing Zerg.
No, he's not. He's playing Protoss.
Interesting. Maybe he thinks Protoss is the best in free-for-all. We'll have to
Tempests are
find out.
good on this map.
Tempests are very good.
With Damaga in the bottom left. He's been playing a bit of Heart of the Swarm. He just got awarded a nice honeymoon package because people voted for him. So shout out to Reddit for making that happen. It was pretty awesome. And in the just next to Damaga, on the left-hand side, we have Todd, Protoss player. Of course, he just got back from IEM, did some casting up there. Very entertaining player, very entertaining personality. Not on Rick Game anymore. To his north, we have the Batman, also known as a giant Smurf. Reddit people might know who that is. And in the top left, we have Sasquatch, of course, known for six pooling in every single one of these free-for-alls. But look at this, actually playing relatively standard at this point in time.
Well,
and that concludes all our plays. Oh, we have Poke Bunny in the top right.
Relatively standard. Where's his hatchery? He's already mining gas. I mean,
compared to
six pool, that's right. But this is still going to be very aggressive. The only reason to mine gas this fast is to get speed early to kill people with speedings early, to get banelings early to kill some of the banelings early, to get roaches early to kill some of the roaches early. Like it's not an economically focused open. So he's definitely going to try to kill somebody early on in the map.
Damaga discovering the gold in the middle, and he's like, "WTF, yo!" It's pretty funny.
You know, one thing I hope Batman does this, because I want to see how people try to counter this on this map. Is the way the chokes lead to the middle, right? If you have a Terran player who just makes siege tanks, a planetary fortress, missile turrets, and then a ton of ravens, and they mine both the rich gases in the middle with a planetary, so they have plenty of extra gas, and then they just make those three units.
The Batman saying he likes the darkness. Go ahead.
I don't see what can counter that, because siege tanks and planetaries you can't really approach on ground, right?
That's true.
And then
we saw Dragon kind of do this.
He did, and he won fairly convincingly, right?
It wasn't convincing. I think it was close, but he did. He had like two people. I think it was Drewby and Katz against him or something.
Yeah, so it was a 1 versus 2 when you beat 2 people at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's pretty convincing. Like if you can beat 400 food with 200, I think that means your strategy is not bad.
Right. I agree 100%. One problem with that though, Tempest. But if you get Ravens, I guess.
Point defense drone totally shuts down Tempest. They're basically worthless as soon as Ravens.
Do you agree with that? By the way, just curious. Should Ravens completely shut down?
I think it has to be that way. For free for all, it makes Terran unbeatable if they get to late game and do that thing. Like you literally have to team like 3 people up on Terran to beat them.
Sure.
But I agree that Blizzard shouldn't bounce the game off free for all, and you have to have a good counter to the Tempest so Terran can do like hold defensive lines with tanks, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's totally fine because in a real game you can work around the point defense drones, right? It's just a situation that on this map when you can turtle and you can only have 1 point to defend effectively, right? It's just the way FIFA works out that spellcasters are so great. But in a real game, you know, you can take map control against them, you can work around them, so it's or by real game I mean just a 1 versus 1, a competitive 1 versus 1game. And I think it's totally fine.
We have some links come in here to Poke Bunny's natural expansion. But yeah, along that point, like I'm about to ask a noob question. The point defense drone, does it absorb based on damage or projectile?
Nope. It's projectile, okay. So that's why it's so strong against Tempest.
Yeah.
The Tempest attacks slowly, and each, 1 point defense drone can always absorb 20 projectiles, plus it'll regenerate energy, so maybe 21, 22, right? Depending on how long it's going for.
So I feel like a change could be made there to make Tempest a little bit less, like, worthless against Ravens. I don't know, just theorizing.
You can make it so it's like a Thor where it's effectively 4 or something like that.
Right, yeah, where it's like it absorbs less shots, like maybe 5 shots from Tempest. Not that extreme, but I think it's worth playing around with.
It could be.
I don't know, just thinking out
we'll see if it becomes a problem in 1 versus 1.
We have a pretty big altercation going on.
We do. Speeding versus Speeding.
Oh,
but you know what? Sasquatch has a secret weapon.
Baneling.
It's called the Baneling. And turns out if you have a Baneling, it's pretty hard to be aggressive with Speedlings against you.
Yes. Absolutely, unless you are a micro master and peel away 1 ling at a time. And then, 1 ling for Baneling. Of course, that ling will be upset, but it's for a good cause.
And if the Baneling has friends, they may be able to kill that Zergling.
That's true.
Which Sasquatch escorts his Banelings with a horde of his own Speedings. Oh, another altercation. Some Phoenix Trask going on over on the southwest side of the map, I guess we could say. Getting a couple Overlord kills, and you know what? Damaga really has no answer.
Damaga's been really spreading his Overlords around, which means they're all going to be pretty vulnerable here. And he has no answer to these spores at this point in time. To these Phoenixes at this point in time. Has a lot of spores on the way.
The Queens aren't covered. He's going to lose all these Queens here, I believe.
I like how he picked up the Queen with the most energy. That means it cannot transfuse while it's struggling desperately in the air. So, yeah, I mean, Todd doing a lot of damage.
Very efficient with his units. And I think you can definitely say this about Todd and about a lot of the players who used to come from Warcraft 3 in general. Very, very efficient with their units. Blink Stalkers, Phoenixes. Todd loves these units, and he is just devastating Damaga. The question is in the long run, is this going to help Todd too much? Can he... Maybe if he can turn this into a way to finish Damaga off, maybe some ground units, then he can acquire those territories as his own.
I think I really like this move from Todd. He's going Phoenixes. They can have a lot of utility as the game goes along. Also, it provides a nice transition option into Void Rays and potential Tempests and whatnot. So we see
those are the late game units you want.
Yeah, of course. So like he can just add another Stargate. He can add on upgrades to his air units, and he has a natural transition. So I'm perfectly fine with this play here from Todd. However, he is attacking both of his neighbors, which can be very dangerous in a free-for-all like this.
You get two people pissed off at you, they both turn on you, and that can be very, very tough to deal with. 2 versus 1s are never what you want to be.
And now Damaga's having to deal with Protoss on both of his sides here. Air on both sides too. We had Void Rays coming out here from Glon, and of course the Phoenixes from Mr. Todd over here. Meanwhile, we have TT1 trying to secure a nexus in between these two gases over here, also sending some DTs across the map. We'll have to see how much damage these can do.
You know, I think TT1's going to have a hard time securing that bottom gas, as look at Ghost User's migration across the map here.
Yeah.
He's not even bothering to lift up the
gosh.
backspine cores. He's just moving more and more and more forward. Going air as well, double Spire, Carapace upgrade, Infestation Pit. He's just going straight for the Hive. Definitely going to be using those Brood Doors, and in combination with Spore Cores, that's going to be very tough to break.
Now, Sasquatch is getting attacked here by TT1. He's not very happy about it. Again, he invested a lot into trying to do a lot of damage to Poke Bunny a little bit earlier on, so maybe this is a result of that. But look at this, TT1's going to back away.
Yeah, and I mean, if TT1 kills Sasquatch, what are the odds he could even take those bases? I feel like he'd have to kill Poke Bunny first.
Well, he has to start worrying about Ghost User right now, because Ghost User is just pressing these spines.
There's no detection, though.
Into his natural. We do have the Mothership. Oh, Mothership doesn't have...
Is there
creep going on the Nexus?
The DTs, yeah, there's creep on the Nexus. Oh, there's a 3-way battle. The Speedies coming there, decide they're just going to back off and wait. Maybe trying to snipe that Nexus, backing off again, and TT1 just slaughtered those Spine Cores, mostly using those Dark Templar because
yeah, no detection.
There's no detection, so they just absolutely slice it up. Meanwhile, there's another kind of slow push going on. Todd's being sieged by the Batman, using the medevac for spotting, and tanks are slowly picking away at some of his buildings.
That's what you're talking about, starting off with the turret and tank push, and have you ever seen creep on a Nexus like that? That wasn't there in Wings of Liberty, was it?
It didn't look like that, no. That actually looks really awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
That's... You know, it's these small things that Blizzard does that are really, really, really cool.
Uh-oh, Muta's on the field here from Poke Bunny, attacking straight into TT1's main base. Forgers are in the back. They're going to get sniped down pretty quick. Damaga wanting to ally someone, it seems.
You know what's cool about these Mutas is that they can get damage retreat and then look at the regen rate. I mean, it's not like the instant regenerate, but they're going to gain their use back at most 2 minutes. It's 1 life a second. So if it's at one life, it'll take 2 minutes, but less than that if it's partially damaged, it'll be back up to full life. But talking about Mutas fleets, look at this giant fleet that Ghost User has. And you know what? Chrono boosting out those Colossi is not going to help Glon against that fleet of Mutas. Void Rays, I think he's just dead. Ghost User could just kill a whole army.
Yeah, he can. We
choosing not to.
I guess Phoenixes are stalkers from Glon, but he's going to continue making Colossi and Void Rays at this point.
I feel the Mutas could just actually walk in there and entirely wipe them out. TT1 has his own Mutas problems. Mutas are the theme of the day here, just ripping apart their Protoss counterparts.
This is interesting. Like, 3 of the 5 Zerg players are going for Mutalisks at this point. Damaga, I think, is doing it as well. He has 2 Spires, upgrading them both. So Zerg's loving the... Actually, 3 of the 4 Zergs, I should say. Zerg's loving the Mutas at this point in time, and TT1 has no answer
TT1.
Here. He has no answer.
Look at his natural, look at his main. There's a common theme here.
Oh my gosh.
2 different Zerg players.
This is like the nightmare of every Protoss.
It's bad enough to play against one Zerg Muta harassing you, but when there's 2 from each side, like TT1's like, what can I do?
Gosh, TT1 may be like, Todd, come save me with your Phoenixes. They do have a little bit better range. So
but he's entirely opposite the map.
Yeah.
It's going to be the longest rescue mission ever.
It will, and now it looks like Glon is going to push out here. Damaga massing up some queens, trying to get that static D up, and we'll have to see if Glon allows that to happen. As it stands, though, not wanting it to happen. That's a pretty big force. And Damaga is going to want some help with the Mutas, but I don't know if the Mutas are going to come help with this.
The Mutas definitely could, but you know what? I think if I would do exactly what Damaga and Ghost User are doing, which is countering at the main, because if you kill that, then Glon is forced to retreat.
Yeah, Ghost User is attacking into the main. Damaga attacking into the natural of Glon here, and he has to retreat back. His economy is pretty much gone. Only a few probes remaining in his main base. Going to start remining there that his natural expansion, but the mutas are the story of this game so far. Uh-oh, nice fungals onto Poke Bunny's mutas are there. Oh my god, they may all die.
Oh no.
Oh.
Poke Bunny. Oh, wow.
Every
which infestor got the kill? Let's see how many it was. If you can find the infestor, there's a lot of them. Let's see if
challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Ah, too many infestors, and they keep moving.
22, found
22.
it. I win.
24. I found one 24.
No.
Yeah. Yep. There's one with 24 kills. So maybe he got 2 different patches at one point or another.
That's
Look
impressive.
at that. Look at that Nexus using that photon overcharge there. Force field's protecting it. This is just throwing away units from Poke Bunny. Funko's the infestor's actually being taken out by Squeamians a little bit there.
Gosh, this engagement, there's engagements happening everywhere on this map. The silence is coming from the Batman at this point. Still turtling up, getting some Thors, getting some turrets, getting some SCVs, and now he's going to start pushing toward the middle of the map. Meanwhile, Damaga amassing a nice Mutaforce of his own, going to try to prevent Todd from getting even close to the middle of this map. And TG1 is getting pretty strong control of the middle here.
He's trying to feed. Look at the Mulus again at the top
of
the map for the second time.
Poke Bunny, why don't you learn?
He just keeps making Mulus. Sasquatch said he's bad. This is a funny, like, if he runs in with 20 Mulus, they all get fungled and die. He's like, okay, he's got mass infestors.
Let's send 16 more.
Send 16 more. Round 2, go.
Units lost should be good. Purple, we have 12,600 resources lost. That's more than double anyone else.
The Batman decided to move out, try to make a presence in the middle, and you know what? Mulus are not going to work well against this army because that is a massive number of Thors he has here. SCVs to repair. He's just plowing through everything with this Thor army.
Yeah, Spine's not going to do much. Damaga starting to retreat a little bit, trying to come up with an answer. Might have to convince his friends or his opponents to perhaps converge onto the Batman's army, but he has Phoenixes in his main, killing a bunch of Overlords. Meanwhile, looks like Ghost User still being aggressive to Glon's main base, and TT1 is starting to push out across here.
Glon has been so crippled. He's just hanging out in the back there. You mentioned, TT1. Look at all those Templar. Storms are going to be instrumental against these large armies, fearful armies
against
field.
infestors too.
Big engagement here. Mulus versus Phoenixes in Todd's base.
Carriers as well, and it looks like Todd should have the superior army composition. Absolutely does. And Vito's going to back away. And now Damaga is in trouble. I think Damaga might die here if Todd just decides to attack him.
I think he might be. I mean, one little known fact is carriers actually counter Mulus very hard. As they scale up, of course, it's hard to get them in numbers. So once they do, their armor is too high for Mulus to effectively kill them. Not to mention that Phoenix Force Todd has. I don't think Damaga can beat... Oh, look at all those Queens. This might be what he needs. Queens are Zerg's probably behind Infestors, their best anti-air option.
Of course, has the option to transfuse any mutas that get weak or just transfuse each other. Damaga's trying to throw down the transfuses onto the mutas, but
carriers.
Todd has too much, and now he's just going to pick up every single queen and let the carriers do the damage. Damaga has no answer, and he might be our first player eliminated from this game in the production tab. He has absolutely nothing, so Damaga in a lot of trouble here. Meanwhile, Glon is going to start moving out toward TT1's base. At the same time, it looks like Sasquatch starting to come down to try to engage TT1, but something has to happen to prevent TT1 from securing pretty much the entire middle.
He's definitely got a strong hold there with the Storm and the Archons, but you know what? I think he's lucky that Batman can't really get access to him easily. There's so many players between them because Batman's army with the Hellbats, a few siege tanks, I think would beat Todd's army. Oh, look at this. Glon making a move through the middle. He's got plenty of Storm as well. Poke Bunny again massing the Mulus at the top of the field. I'm just waiting for them to all get fungled again. That would just make my day, like
I'm looking
3 times in a row. He's staying away.
How does he keep getting so many?
He's staying away from Sasquatch. It's all he makes, man. He hasn't built a single. He hasn't spent gas on anything but Mulus and Mulus upgrades.
Gosh.
Of course, if you compare his fleet to look at the fleet that's in TT1 space right now, that is a Mulus fleet.
Oh my gosh.
TT1 getting double teamed here.
You got to storm that if you can. And yes, as you said, Glon is trying to engage TT1 here. TT1 might have overextended a bit.
Actually.
He's trying to attack Poke Bunny right now. Poke Bunny going to swarm his Lings and Mutas fours. I think TT1 definitely overextended here.
I think TT1 might just be dead.
He might die before Damaga.
Yeah, he's done. I mean, He's trying to fight off the Mutas in the main with some great storms, but you know what? That regen rate is powerful. Not to mention that you think you got rid of some Mutas. How about a few more? TT1 GG's. A little bit overstepping himself there.
Ghost User needs to take a visit to Sasquatch, I think, with all those Mutas.
Todd's air fleet is trying to duel the Batman now. They're both killing each other's bases. Interesting turn of events here.
Bit of a base trade here at the left side of the map, and Todd, I feel like he has to turn around at some point to deal with this, but does he even have enough? I mean, we still have Ravens in this competition. We have plenty of Vikings, plenty of, I think there's SCVs there as well, and lots of powerful Thors, but it looks like the Batman is going to back away. Not sure why.
I think he was scared of losing his own base to those carriers. You know, if he kept committing, it could have been a situation where they both would have killed each other.
But
and
Terran could lift. Oh, there you go.
That's true. But I mean, even if he wins battle versus Todd, he doesn't want to be too crippled because that would just pretty much put them both out of the game.
Damaga had like 4 Mutas he was trying to just have some fun with, and Ghost User just took them out. No deal, no big issue whatsoever.
Poke Bunny playing with danger, gets caught again by Infestors. Oh man, poor guy. These Mutas. He's just throwing Funkles out like they're candy now. Look at that. I think he used about 8 Funkles, but you know what? He missed the last one. They all got away.
They will
Poke Bunny, Fortune's on his side, but maybe it's not. Ghost User saying, you want Mutas, how about this?
Gosh, that's so many Mutas, and again, as you said, Poke Bunny has been making nothing but Mutas, so he doesn't have any Infestors. He has no way to deal with this Muta block. Like, he's not going to send his own Mutas against him because he doesn't have as many.
He'll get slaughtered. Not to mention their 3-3 upgrades versus Poke Bunny is only at 1-1.
Gosh. Poke Bunny's dead.
Yeah, Poke Bunny's dead. He's the next person pretty much eliminated from the army. Galan is the one who is now mining from the middle. And he's mining from it in large quantities of minerals, not taking those gases, though.
Interestingly enough, TT1 was the first guy to really take a presence in the middle of the map, but he's pretty much the first one who died as well. Only has a few cannons left on the field. I think he already left the game. I'm not entirely sure, but now Glon has secured the middle. I'll have to see if that can help him win this game.
It very well might. There's less people to potentially ambush him now. Oh, Infestor's caught between Speedlings and a couple of Glon's army. Right. Mass Fungus going to do with the Speedlings, but Sasquatch did take some losses there. Yeah,
lost a few Infestors. Again, at this point in a free-for-all, every single unit is going to be very, very important. So keeping them alive is going to be essential. Meanwhile, Todd is getting up a nice carrier, Mothership, Probe, Phoenix, Stalker, Force, and now he's going to try to secure the middle for his zone. He wants more resources. There's the scan from the Batman. And we have storms going down here from Glon, trying to fend this off, doing a decent amount of damage to the Interceptors. Todd leading with a hallucinated Void right here.
I feel like Glon's army should win this. Storms are so effective against air as they come up. Uh-oh, Todd's stuck between 2 armies. The Thor's doing massive splash damage.
No. You have a Mothership here. Does not have a Vortex ability anymore. Unfortunately, going to throw it on the Time War before falling to the Vikings. And now Todd, he's just going to go back to his base. He thought he had a big force, but pretty much half of it was killed there. Want to look at units lost again.
Carriers are just so expensive. The Interceptors evaporate, can't have a splash damage. And even though Thors don't do a lot of damage to armored, when the units clump, the splash just kicks in to such a high degree.
All right, we have some infested Terrans attacking this Nexus near the middle of the map. And now we have Sasquatch trying to take control. Meanwhile, we have some Muta. Oh no, Muta's got caught again.
And Poke Bunny can't replace him. I mean, he's dead. Sasquatch saying, I will not take pity because you just keep attacking me. Poke Bunny down to just a relatively small Mutas force now.
Lots of powerful Infestors there. And still a decent amount of Mutas, even that being said. What is that, like 23 or something? But this is the force right now that I'm probably most scared of. Ghost User.
I don't think he could. Is it
the
him?
Thors.
The Thors, exactly. Yeah. And even the carriers. Ghost User has. Well, you know what? But
there's not that many carriers.
There are, and upgrades. He has 3-3 versus 101. So
you
you're
target
right,
those carriers down.
Storm though, Glon's army I think could beat it too. I think there's 3 real forces here, and actually the Infestors as well. It's almost everyone has a good shot. I think Todd is the weakest out of the people who are left in the game.
We have Mutas actually pursuing Mutas across the right side of the map. There is no Muta speed upgrade.
Where is Poke Bunny going to run? He can't replace the units. That's all he has. Try and run across the map. Oh, massive spore field.
He's going to turn around and die.
Turn around. Last stand. Uh-oh. The Thors may have overstepped himself. Kara's on one side. The Infestor's on the other. This is not where you want to fight two armies at once. Fortunately,
I think Glon is happy about all this.
he is.
He's watching from the side, hoping the other 3 players kill themselves.
You know, the Batman's had a really hard time moving out here. Every time he moves out, he gets double teamed.
That's true. That's kind of the element with every player, essentially, unless you have a dead person next to you.
Ghost Users had a little better luck because both the people above him are dead. Same thing with Sasquatch.
Todd just got eliminated there.
So now the Batman can position his units basically right where they are now and doesn't have to worry about Todd. So it was good that he got rid of Todd.
Lots
Massive
of
mule
fumbles.
hammer being dropped down. He's just trying to protect the mules. But yeah, he needs some siege tanks. Even 3 siege tanks would shut down all these infestors. Instead, taking some serious damage.
Oh! Gosh, those storms.
You know, this is why the meter regen's so good, though. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think he lost any.
Might have lost 1.
Might have lost 1.
No,
I mean,
agree with
as
you.
long as he keeps
I
them
saw
away.
1 explosion of blood.
1 blood, but that could have been 10. You never know.
It could have been.
Batman trying to get a place in the middle, but without siege tanks, I think he's going to be torn apart here.
Yeah. Really needs siege tanks in that composition. Has no real other way to deal with the infestors. And now the infestors coming forward here. Sasquatch trying to prove that infestors are still the way to go, still the way to win games. And he might be right.
This is interesting. All 3 players are mining from the middle, and they've kind of reached a peace treaty, though, here. Galon's 1 stalker is breaking the peace, and it pays for it with its life. Will Galon take offense?
I think that was just a sign. He's like, hey, man, just let me mine. I'm just going to kill that and back away. We can be friends. And yeah, all these guys, they're mining.
Galon has to deal with Ghost User's Mutilus fleet. It's trying to pick at him. Look at that Archon. Gets 1 shot, and the splash actually killed 2 more units. This is a very damaging Mutilus fleet. As long as he can, if he just magic box this army, he would kill it all.
Yeah.
Because then you don't get hit that badly by the storms. But he would take some losses, and he really wants to avoid losing anything.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. The Muta's still trying to find some vulnerabilities in his opponent's defenses. I mean, Stalkers aren't going to be enough against these Mutas. Gotta land the money storms. There's the storm going down, bringing a lot of Mutas into the yellow. But again, they're just going to regen.
Yeah, and the Mutas can regenerate life faster than the High Templar can regenerate energy. Is a really cool thing here. Just because, you know, it takes like a minute to regenerate life, and a minute you're only going to get, 35 energy back. So it's going to take at least, 2.5 minutes to get that storm back.
What about Time Warp and then Storm?
That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty awesome. The Storm would do a little more damage then. It would take him longer to regenerate. Or if you have enough Blink Stalkers too. But, oh, he's magic boxing over the Stalkers.
Storm's going down, but that's not going to be enough. The Storm's, the High Templar is actually getting targeted down. There's another Storm going down. But again, the regen will just happen. And we have Glon, who's out of storms. He has some High Templar in the back there trying to retreat to deal with this, but that's going to leave his front vulnerable.
He definitely took the worst end of that trade as well. I think he might have gone 5 or 6 meters, but lost a large amount of Blink Stalkers, not to mention High Templar.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Oh, now Batman has a tank, and you know what? This is stopping the other players from mining, but it also might end up pissing them off.
Yeah, and they'll just attack him and potentially kill him. I mean, his army isn't incredibly...
This is where, if you had the planetary, maybe like 10 tanks.
Yes.
If you had like 10 siege tanks, that would be great. I think you could do with less Thors if you supplement it with missile turrets. So maybe more tanks, less Thors, and then a bunch of missile turrets, and then he'd be in a game-winning position. As it is, though, he's still right now mining, and no one else is bothering him.
I feel like we have like the best strategies in mind. We should play one day.
We should, but everyone just team us because they know we're the best.
That's true, but we still win.
2 versus 6 is pretty tough, man.
That's true.
2 versus 6 is pretty tough. Although if you both play Terran,
we make the rules though. We just say, all right, don't attack us.
If you do, we ban you.
Yes.
There we go. I like that plan.
Done.
I like that plan.
You're still being annoying here.
They are. So here's a winner player is going to move on to Batman. I guess Galon can't, because Galon is afraid of these Mulists, right? So he pretty much has to wait. Galon's like pinned in. He can't do anything. Sasquatch is going to try to pick Galon to death, and then once Galon's dead, then Sasquatch will have the freedom to go in the middle, because right now he can't, because Galon's in his way, right? So Sasquatch has to kill Galon. So it's going to be up to, I meant Ghost User, sorry. It's basically 2-1 versus 1s right now. Sasquatch versus Galon, Ghost User versus the Batman.
Yeah.
And Galon has a strong army in a straight up fight. He has so many High Templar. He's got the Colossi to deal with the Infestors and the Spine Cores. But the Mutas will just keep picking at him until he's got nothing left.
I mean, I don't think he can't really produce anything else now.
I mean, he has no base.
That, yeah.
Wait, he has one Nexus. That's mine.
Oh, he can just lose based on losing buildings.
He can. I mean, that's why he's surrounding that last Nexus. Because he knows he can't afford to go protect his other bases. He's got to hold the one Nexus that counts.
Damaga's still in this game. He's slowly trying to build up his infestor count by long-distance mining from his gases in his main.
Look at that. Look at that train. Wow. Right. Sasquatch picking on some. Oh, this is dangerous for Ghosty User. If Ghosty User gets too close to Sasquatch, we saw him have the poke bunny. Droll burrowed. He won't be to see them.
Oh, he unburrowed him.
Oh, he's sending one ahead.
I like it.
Look at this. He's going to send one around. It's going to get vision so he knows where the Mutas are coming from.
And then once he fungals, he'll bring the rest.
Yes.
So this drone is kind of giving that away. All right, he's going to take it. Okay, here they come.
Pop up. Pop up. Pop up. Oh, the spine crawlers are in the way.
Oh! No!
Oh, he
got him!
Oh, he got him all!
He got all the mutas! He got all the mutas! Oh my gosh. This is exactly what needed to happen for the non-muta players.
Man. Mutas can deal with storms pretty well, but how about some Infestor for you? Mr. Ghosty User just got crushed.
Ghosty User bringing in Infestors of his own, but we have Sasquatch just retreating behind his spot. Ghosty User's mad, man.
You know what? If you look at the amount of units killed and resources, like amount of resources killed.
How do you see that? Is that a new feature?
No, I don't know if you can. But if you did, if you could, I'm sure Sasquatch, with the amount of mutas, he's killed like 300 mutas this game.
Yeah,
That's
he's
so
killed
many
a ridiculous
resources.
amount. I think we may be able to look at that in the post-game.
I'll check it out, see if we can. But I mean, that basically puts Ghosty User out of the game. I mean, he has some Infestors. Actually, wait, all the Infestors died today.
I think they all died. They were trying to be aggressive
Glon cut him off in front and back.
Oh, no.
So,
Sasquatch, he was looking so good. Or Ghosty User was looking so good. He has 4 Infestors left.
Yeah,
but then again, so does Damaga.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, he's basically out of the game. It's a 3-way game unless something crazy happens. Batman's mining from the middle. Glon has got a great army. The question is...
No! Glon and Sasquatch just allied. Should we allow that? There's 3 people left.
Well...
If 2 allied...
Yeah, I think it's a strategic move. It's
the
like,
ethical me wants to not allow that.
If you played Risk, the board game, right? If someone is in the strongest position, you gotta team them or else you're gonna lose. Like, game theory-wise, the best chance to win is to, if you're not the strongest player, you gotta team up and knock out
it's all about,
player.
Are you the first? Like, if Batman had offered to choose beforehand, it could have been the other way around.
People call it the Kingmaker problem with free-for-all games. Sometimes when it's out of your control, someone else can kind of team up on you. But that's just part of the free-for-all dynamics. Diplomacy is important.
I think that obviously would apply to real life, like
it would. I mean, like Batman was the one who put the siege tank there and killed everyone else's workers.
You're right. He started that.
So he has no one to blame but himself for his violent actions. But you know, he's been slowly building up a larger siege tank force. And now he's got siege tanks, Vikings, Thors.
4 siege tanks, yep.
And those are gonna, if he positions the siege tanks and has a missile turret or scans, if he needs the siege tank a little bit more. His siege tank should be more on top. He does.
Wait, Glon. He just took out Sasquatch's gas there.
Guess they're not at a piece ready. Oh, Glon's mining from the very far corner. The siege tank can't quite reach those probes on the far side. You know, even if they team, can they beat the Batman? I think they can. They have to, if they coordinate their attack at the exact same time. So Glon comes in, but for it to work, Glon would have to come in first, take the siege tank shots, and then Sasquatch comes in from behind.
Glon is investigating Damaga's base.
Ooh, he's gonna find out.
Damaga's like, when are you guys attacking? He's like waiting until the battle's over before he comes in with his 5 Infestors. 6 Infestors.
Yeah, I mean, I think he may be right. Like I said, Terran can just get these defensive positions that are so hard to break. Maybe... I'm trying to think of... I mean, Tempest would be great here, but the way the game's gone, no one had the time to sit back and build Tempest, really. They never had the resources.
It could still happen, I think. Like, Glon, theoretically, there's lots of gases available.
But the problem is
he's got all these
it would be hard to protect it against the Viking army, right? I mean, the Templar can come in the storm.
Here's the theory. Is Batman ever going to move out?
If you piss him off with Tempest, he might slow push you. But
that's why you get like 20 of them.
Yes, but exactly. If you had 20 Tempests, you would crush him. But the way the game's gone, like if you had 20 Tempest, you would have died to a player going muteless already, right?
But that's what I'm saying. You still can.
With what money?
That's what he has all this gold in the middle that he can mine, and he has all these gases.
He can't
on the outside.
mine. The tank's been shutting him down.
Oh, the tank is in range.
An attack coming in from Sasquatch. Speed leads tanking further than Fester's, and Fester's going in. Is Glong going to take advantage of this?
They're not attacking at the same time. Glon is still chilling, looking at these static Ds.
That did not work for Sasquatch.
Oh, Sasquatch.
He lost, maybe, he lost a good... Oh, wait, Ghost User Spy Crawlers flanked him.
I don't know.
I didn't realize those were Ghost User Spy Crawlers. He flanked and killed him.
I told you he was mad at Sasquatch. Sasquatch fumbled all of his mutas.
Look at this invasion by Spy Crawler.
The spores aren't going to do much, but I like the effort.
He can't root him. He's having a hard time rooting him.
Yeah.
I feel like he's not even trying to. I feel like he just threw all those guys in there.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much to do here.
Stop waggling your crawlers in my face.
Oh, gosh.
But you know, at the end of the day, all the infested Terrans and Zerglings just didn't hold up to those Hellbats. The Hellbats are... I mean, the Hellbats one-shot Zerglings.
Yeah.
At this point.
And here comes Damaga. He's decided to make his presence known.
That's
He's actually killing some Vikings.
And he killed the one tank that was the 9 other players from mining the middle. So getting rid of that one tank could be what's helpful.
Oh my gosh. Glon is blinking towards Damaga here. I think this is a battle that doesn't need to happen.
It doesn't, but Glon's not going to lose anything.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't even taken damage yet.
Damaga tried.
Yeah, he tried.
GG Damaga.
He had a last stand there.
Alright, so we have 2 players left?
I mean, yeah, basically. I think the Batman's basically won. Glon's last battle here, coming in through the middle, trying to take out the Batman, but I don't think he has enough. There's just too much Terran there. Absolutely destroyed there. You know, this composition is tough to beat. I think it would be even tougher, a few less Thors, but it did the job.
Yeah.
It did the job, and so who's the only... last person left in the game.
Sasquatch. He's having...
No, Ghost User.
Ghost User. He's having fun with Creep right now.
Okay. He's going to try to spell some of the Creep tumors. What's he going to spell?
I don't think he's spelling anything.
He's just making a giant blob?
Yeah.
So
so let's commentate this. All right, so we have... no, there we go. the Batman. Victorious.
Wow. And you know what's interesting there? The Batman is...
He's the only Terran in that game.
He was the only Terran, and he was also the player, the only, like, non-known or at least semi-known pro player there, right?
Yes.
Everyone else was a top competitive player, except for the Batman. So that teaches you free-for-alls, anybody can win, at least if they're Terran. That's what I take out of it.
And, like, you were calling that in the beginning. All right, here's what the Terran needs to do to win. And then you laid out exactly what he needed to do as far as the turrets, as far as the tanks, etc.
Imagine that was a planetary in the middle, too.
Yeah.
That would have been just...
Even without it. So what needed to happen for the other players to win that?
Like you mentioned, the Tempest would have been great because he built so many Thors, and Thors are 200 gas seeds. He was very gas constrained. That, and he actually was kind of lazy in mining those rich gases in the middle, so he didn't take those very early. So he was so gas constrained. Adding Ravens would have been tough.
Yes.
So Tempest would have been great, like you pointed out. But the way the game worked out is that
3 of the Zerg players went mutas.
Exactly, and so you can't really get Tempest until you deal with the mutas. But
if
then
you mass Phoenix first and then transition,
like what Todd did.
Well, kind of. He went to carriers.
That's true. Carriers were not good.
Right.
Carriers are like never good.
No.
Like in Wings of Liberty, carriers are okay.
Yeah.
In place of Tempest, you get like a couple, like we saw MC do last night in GSL. You get a couple to poke your opponent and force them to come to you. That's the only point. Their damage per second is not good. They're very expensive. Like, they're just bad stat-wise. So they're only there for the range. But now there's Tempest. Tempest serve that better than them, right? So they're just pointless.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to the Batman. There are 3 Protoss. Can we see the units killed? Did we...
let me see if I can figure that out.
But we had 1 Terran, we had 3 Protosses, and 4 Zergs in that game. And, of course, the victor being the Batman. And we're going to try to do some more stuff here. So if you want to potentially play, join channel MLG. And if there are open spots, I'll see if I can get you an invite. So
here's the thing. So we could see the units killed tab, but that just shows units. If it's all Zergians, doesn't mean that much, right?
Oh, true.
So if you're talking about what's important here is combat efficiency. Because what this number means is the resources you've killed more than what you've lost, basically. So we can see Sasquatch and the Batman were extremely efficient because they killed so many more resources and we lost Sasquatch that was pretty much all killing Mulis.
Yep.
With fungal growth. And Batman, a lot of that was killing Todd's army. Remember, Todd had that giant carrier Phoenix Force that died in like 2 Thor volleys. Like all the Phoenixes popped instantly, carriers went shortly thereafter. So the lesson is you know, the specialized ground units do beat air. You know, a lot of people, like the Bronze Leaguers, play free-for-all. They just say, oh, mass Void Rays, oh, mass Milas, like just mass 1 air unit. Unless it's battle cruisers, because they're like the best one. You know, if someone makes a specialized unit, like an Infestor or Thor or High Templar, well, you know, the High Templars, you can kind of avoid them. Like we saw, they didn't do that well against Milas, because they just pick at you.
Time Warp.
Time Warp and High Templar would be good. Or if you combine High Templar with like some carriers or some Tempest so that they get damage every time they run in and out.
Or make it so...
Fungal is still by far the best, though.
Storm makes the unit lock in place.
So...
Like a fungal.
Like, basically, give every race
It's only fair. You just make it look different for each race. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for Game 1. Still got a lot of content coming your way today. You're watching Heart of the Swarm Exhibitions. Today is Free For All Wednesday. We'll be back after a quick break. Don't go anywhere.